enterprise integration is on the way for the whole Cardano ecosystem. Keep watching to find out more. Everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video talking about iagon's latest update. The iagon team has recently made a post providing an update on their Fireblocks integration. So just for those who don't know, the Fireblocks iagon partnership will provide institutional integration for the whole entire Cardano ecosystem. Fireblocks has many institutional enterprise users of crypto, and it is through them that they are able to do so. So the iagon team has provided an update on this integration and partnership with Fireblocks. It is a GitHub post, so if you're so inclined and you can understand the tech, go ahead, have a read, see the update yourself. I'm not of a tech background, so it doesn't mean too much to me, but it's nice to see that there is a bit of an update regarding that. They have stated that this has been ready and publicly accessible since 3 weeks ago, as it is open source. They're just doing some further optimizations and preparing a showcasing video for everyone to see. So very interested to see that. Unfortunately, as always, there's a bit of negativity surrounding it. Phil, as typical, has been bashing it. He's been spreading straight up FUD. So if you look at his post, he's talking about vendor locking. Now, it is true, when you use Fireblocks, you are vendor locking, but I think he's misconstruing that. And he's saying that the whole process is vendor locked. Like the alternative is also vendor locked. When you use Fireblocks and you integrate with Fireblocks, you are vendor locked to their clients. You can't just go use that integration for other clients outside of the integration. So by him presenting that information in that way, it is just pure FUD. So if we go back to Nav's post, this is all public information. If you look at the main competitor for this integration, it's obviously Blockfrost, right? Blockfrost has been bought out by IO, and Phil works for IO. So Phil is spreading direct FUD of his employer's competitor. So there's a direct competition here, and obviously he has an interest to FUD the competition. Okay, so just so people are aware and people can do their own research and see who has interest in what project's doing well and succeeding, have a look at that, okay? So in the last few months, there's been some growing talk about the centralization of the Pentad, their growing power, and some of the decisions that they're making that benefits the Pentad rather than the whole Cardano ecosystem. And this is just more to that, right? As a project and as individuals, we have two decisions here. Do you want to add to the centralization? Do you want to keep funding the Pentad? And do you want them to grow stronger? Or would you rather back a smaller project on the Cardano ecosystem who's had a Cardano ecosystem first approach, right? They would rather benefit the whole ecosystem rather than themselves. So let's have a look. So these are all the partnerships and all the ways that they've used the services within the ecosystem. Now, just remember, this post is quite old. So just quickly, it's August 2025, right? So you can go through this post yourself. You can have a look. This list has grown since then, right? This is now what? 7 months old. A lot has happened since then. So this is all the ways that the iagon team has used services within the Cardano ecosystem to benefit the Cardano ecosystem. Now, do you want to use a product provided by iagon, who is a project on the Cardano ecosystem that has always had a Cardano ecosystem first approach? Or do you want to use a product provided by Blockfrost, who's owned by IO, who's part of the Pentad, where the Pentad has had growing speculation and talks about their growing levels of centralization and how they're making decisions that benefit the Pentad themselves? As individuals and as projects, we have a choice to make. Now, obviously, I'm super biased. I'm an iagon investor. My name is Iagonaut Manny, right? This is not in hiding. Now, I encourage you, please, please, please go do your own research. Look at what iagon has done for the ecosystem. Look at what IO and the Pentad are doing for the ecosystem and make your own decisions. This is truly a time that doing your own research is crucial, right? Because you can just be spoon-fed information by the Pentad. The Pentad also through the treasury has been funding certain influencers. These influencers have been making treasury proposals to get funded, and they do get funded. Now, do you think these influencers have an interest in pumping and advertising the projects of the pentad? Yes, they're the people who are voting them in, and these ones are the people who are voting to get their proposals through, right? Got to keep the boss happy. Okay. Same as Phil. Phil every week, Bud's iagon, right? Phil himself is wearing himself too thin. He's in too many different projects. He's doing too many different things. It's the typical saying, jack of all trades, master of none. But he might be a master of one thing, which is FUD. He loves to FUD every single week. And you see every week he's attacking Nav, he's attacking iagon, and he's even said in the past, why would you support a CEO who's always on Twitter all the time, right? He's already wearing himself thin with all the things that he's working on, and he's not doing a great job at most of them, yet he still has the time to go on Twitter and bash iagon and Nav, right? He should focus on his own projects instead of bashing people on Twitter, right? And maybe cut back on them so you can actually do a good job on some of them. Those are just my thoughts anyway. I hope you've appreciated this video. Please do your own research. Please prioritize decentralization over centralization. That's why we're all here. That's why we're in crypto. We want decentralization. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please follow me on X and subscribe to me on YouTube. And if you have any questions, commentary, or feedback, please drop a comment and a like. I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for watching. See you for the next one.